Hi, my name is Shannon, and welcome to my YouTube channel. The last time I made a video, I was cleaning off the desk that I'm currently sitting in front of. It was my father's desk, and I'm intending to use it to start making some stained glass because I quit my job a little while back, not because my mom, who currently lives with me, has dementia, but she is the reason why I'm kind of reluctant to look for a new job. She's kind of declined in the last few months, and I really am at the point now where I don't feel comfortable leaving her alone for any amount of time. So I'm kind of coming up with schemes to make a little bit more money. And this YouTube channel, the channel you're watching, that's one of my schemes. And the other one, there's a couple more, and one of those being is making some stained glass pieces, simple ones, and then selling them online. And I used to sell on eBay a few years ago. I had like my own store, so I have a well-established profile on eBay. So I think that if I were to just change the name and update it a little bit and start selling my little stained glass pieces, that perhaps I could get a few people to buy them. I don't really need to make a whole lot to cover my salary, or at least to cover the amount I need every week to make sure all the bills are paid, whatnot. I promised myself I would start this on, let's see, today's Saturday, so Thursday. And it's been kind of a hectic week for me. Like I said, I made that video where I was cleaning off my dad's desk, and it got kind of emotional after I got done with it. I thought I felt pretty good with it, but the following day, Thursday, he was on my mind all day. And then it kind of just flowed right into me doing like self-reflection kind of thinking. And that continued on into Friday. It just kind of demotivated me from doing essentially anything. If you know anything about me, if you were to watch any of my other videos, I think I struggle from some type of mental condition, and the one I suspect it is ADHD, and I have a lot of lifetime of experience to think that. But every so often, even though I know I have it now, and that is a big step towards working my way around it, sometimes I just can't. And I just have to wait till I can come up for air again. And I don't think I'm quite there yet, but I'm at the point where I can at least kind of force myself to come out here and think about starting this, because it's important not only for my YouTube channel to continue putting out videos, but to start bringing in a little bit of money. And this is something that I've been talking about doing for years. I mean, I already have all of the supplies because over the years I obsess on it, and people buy them for me as gifts, like the glass and other various supplies that you need. So I'm set to go to at least start. I mean, I don't have a ton of solder. I probably go buy some more. And I know that Easter's coming up soon in spring, so I thought I would do like Easter bunnies and flowers, birds, things that signify spring. But I don't really have a lot of spring colors in my glass. It's a lot of dark colored fall type hues. The only two that I think are even close are these two. There's like a teal with a little bit of green mixed in. And I already was going to do something else with it, but I have to take that off. It's just grease pencil, so it'll come right off once I put some soap on it. And then the other color is this like lime, like it's like a really bright green. Just looks really spring to me. And the first pattern that I've come up with is, this bunny. And what I did was I brought up a picture of this bunny that was already done by somebody else on Pinterest. And I just blew it up to the size where I wanted it on my monitor, and then put the tracing paper up to it, and then traced around the solid lines on the pattern. And I went through and I just tried to find the most simple pattern that I could find. And this one is it. I mean, it's a bunny that's supposed to be facing away from you, and then their tail is on the bottom. And it's only got 5 pieces. The tail attaches along the bottom, and it's kind of sits on top of that larger piece of glass that's its body. So, yeah, I mean, I'm probably, even today, I'm not going to start this project. That's going to be working into tomorrow. But while I talk to you, I am going to start cutting out these pieces, and then I want to get some cardboard, and then I'm going to trace these pieces onto a piece of cardboard and then cut those out, because they're a lot stiffer and have a little bit more stability to them when I go to start working with the glass, which I'll get to in my video that I put out next, hopefully. But I wanted to get into why it's been so long since I've posted a video. Now, it really hasn't been that long. I mean, it's only been a couple days, but for me, it feels like I should have put one out the day before yesterday, at the rate that I've been putting videos out. And I did kind of promise something. I left everybody thinking that they were going to come to a video where I'm doing what I'm doing right now, but only probably much sooner than this. And it's really a culmination of a few things. The first thing that happened was when I made that video about my father. It did get emotional. It made me think about a lot of things. And like I said, it put me down for a couple days, both reflecting on him and reflecting just on my life in general, I guess. I don't know. And what I want to do going forward. And then, just panicking about my, job situation. And it just gets you stuck sometimes when you got so many things that are coming at you at once, and you don't know which one to address and which one's the most important. So it just hit me to the point where I just didn't want to do anything for at least a full 24 hours. And then Friday came along, and I was kind of starting to come out of it. And my boyfriend, Will, he's been going through some medical problems recently. He's got a problem with some pinched nerves in both his shoulder and part of his like forearm, like right by his elbow. And he's been going through a lot of physical therapy for that recently. And it was going okay, but he was coming to the point where he was going to run out of physical therapy appointments that were paid for his insurance. So the therapist that he was working with convinced him to do, they call it dry needling, which is essentially the medical term for acupuncture without all the woo-woo that comes with it. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this earlier for people that watch my channel, but my boyfriend is super phobic of needles. And so he kept putting it off, because he was terrified, essentially. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of fears, but, my fear of people equals his fear of needles, essentially. And I have a pretty high fear of people. So anyway, since the pain was still there, he was running out of time. He finally relented and let the therapists do the dry needling on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah, on Thursday. And when he came back from that, he had mixed feelings. He felt like something different happened, but at the same time, because of all the needles and he was tense and everything, it caused a lot of pain in the muscles, even more than he was already dealing with in his arm. And going into Friday, he had a dentist appointment, like right around lunchtime. And it involved him having to get one of his molars extracted that had broken back there. And the dentist kind of was telling him, this is going to be kind of, it's going to be painful and it's going to take a while. And I don't know. I was just paranoid that they might have to put him under or something, or, so I offered to go with him. And I just kind of chilled out in the car and listened to my audiobook. And I was going to make a YouTube video. I had it all filmed and everything, and I was going to put it out yesterday. And I don't know, something about it just didn't feel right. Because I knew that what I was promising in that video was not going to come to fruition. So I just left it. So he comes out of the appointment and he was in absolute agony. They couldn't get the roots out from his tooth. They broke off the top of his tooth and were digging around, kept cutting through his gums to get down to the root. And not to get too more gruesome than that, they gave up and gave him a referral to somewhere else. And when he came walking out of there, he was just so miserable. I mean, just everything that poor man has been through in the past, I don't know how long it's been now, a few weeks at this point. And I mean, I just have so much empathy for what he's going through. And it just essentially ruined my day on Friday because not only did I have to deal with this doctor's appointment that lasted the majority of my, we didn't get home till almost 3:00, and then we get home and he's miserable all night. I had to make him broth so he could eat. And today, Saturday, he wakes up and he's almost normal. Like something that dry needling / acupuncture actually did something. Like his arm, he says it's like the things he was doing with it this morning, the different positions and putting it behind his back. And I mean, just things he hasn't been able to do without extreme pain for a very long time. It's just suddenly now it's better. And he still has one more appointment left that he's supposed to do the acupuncture one more time, I think. And then his tooth, I mean, he still has another appointment with a specialist, but in terms of pain right now, it's just completely, the inflammation has gone completely down and he's completely tolerating everything. And I don't know, he was in just such a good mood this morning and just his old normal self. And so it made me not want to do YouTube again. It made me not want to come out here and do this. It made me want to hang out with him because it's been so long since we've been able to just chill together and have fun. So that's what I spent this morning doing other than cooking breakfast, which was like the other thing I did. I didn't even go grocery shopping yet. We're going to do that tomorrow. And then in other news, I'll give you a little bit of context in case you don't know the backstory on my sisters. I have two sisters, and there's one that I'll probably never hear from again, and I won't go into her again. I do have a video that I put up fairly recently that kind of details my sisters, but my younger sister, I talked to her yesterday, and the reason why that's such a big deal is because I haven't heard from her since my birthday, which was just before Christmas. And granted, I was kind of upset with her in the last year because I haven't been hearing from her. She's not offering any kind. I mean, you have to understand, not only is she also my mother's daughter, she is a RN, and she's not just like a 2-year RN. She's going for her master's degree right now. Like, she knows medical things, and she works in the insurance industry. So not only does she know medical things, she can help me interpret all of this, hopefully, all of these Medicaid things. That's what's really making my brain explode. And so I think when I wrote her back, because when she wrote me on my birthday, it was essentially to apologize for not helping me and not keeping in contact with me, and to explain to me why. And I don't think she was expecting me to be nice, maybe back to her, because, she did essentially abandon me. Both my sisters have. So I don't know why, but it took her till now to read my reply that I sent her way back then, that, look, I forgive you. All I want from you is some advice every so often, and for you to call and talk to your mom so she can hear your voice. And she apologized to me again profusely, explained again what she's been going through, and it looks like for her things are going on the very, very positive upswing right now, and maybe that's what made her reach out to me, because she's not in her rut like I have been for the last couple days. I guess it's just a thing with our family. But she told me that she is going to help me with anything I need, call anytime I want, that she's going to reach out and make sure that she's in touch with me. I told her once a week, so we'll see how that goes. But I have her phone number now, so, it can be just as much my fault if I don't reach out to her. But in terms of everything I said in my video where I was talking about my sister, the problems that she was having, according to her, everything is fine. That everything that was bad has now reversed course, and she's very hopeful about everything. So for me, that's super good news, because honestly, I have been I've been fighting myself about what I should do about her, because I hadn't heard from her for so long, and I had put these messages out that were very clearly meant for her to call me or talk to me in some way. And I started thinking that maybe I should put out a missing persons report for her. I mean, she was, at the time, she was going through kind of a rocky part of her marriage. I don't know how serious it was, but you never know, right? Especially when you're not hearing anything. I mean, granted, it's kind of a thing with my family, especially she's worse than I am, but we're both kind of bad about keeping in touch with our family. They usually have to reach out to us, which I'm trying to change about myself, but there's not much family left to worry about it, so whatever. But on the same note, my sister in Arkansas, that's the one I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. My niece, who is another family member who was helping me, she is the daughter of my middle sister, and she lives kind of nearby. She's not in Arkansas like my youngest sister. And, a few weeks ago, she also had reached out to me and asked me if I needed help with anything. And she had started helping with, getting me the prescriptions all settled out again. She'll call the pharmacy if I have a problem now, because I have this weird phone thing, which I have another video where I need to talk about my phone thing again, because I've been putting something off. And I hadn't heard from her for a while, because she was supposed to be getting the Medicaid thing sorted out, because she wants to get paid by the state to come and care for my mom, her grandmother. And I was waiting to hear back from her about it, because she told me she was going to call. Sorry, there's a squirrel walking right by my door. Wish I could show you, but they'll just run. Anyway, so called her. I won't go into detail, but she was kind of going through her own personal, she was going through it, and told me, just give me a while. I'll reach back out to you when I can help you again. So I just left her alone. I didn't say a word to her, not even so much as hi, how are you, because I didn't want her to think I was trying to be like just reaching out for her just because I want to help. I don't know. But anyway, after I talked to my sister, the youngest, it just made me want to tell my niece, because my niece was also trying to reach out to my sister. And when I sent her the message that I had spoken to my youngest sister, it spurred a conversation. And now she wants to come on Monday, and then, we'll get back on track and talk about what, me and her can do, what she can do to help me. So she's back anxious to do something, so we just got to regroup and figure out, what we're doing here. I got to figure out what information she has, and then she's got to gather up some, financial stuff from my mom, things like that, just to make sure my mom even qualifies for Medicaid. I mean, I am under the impression that she makes too much, gathered from a social worker that I had spoke to, but it was only a brief conversation, and I don't have all of the facts yet. So hopefully I can get that in the next coming days. But anyway, the phone call video I'm going to make probably tomorrow night, hopefully. I hate promising things because I suck so much at keeping them, but that's the one I want to talk about, the power of attorney. I need to pull the Band-Aid off with that one, but I'm going to take advantage of it and just make another video about how I'm afraid of phone calls. Because, that's another thing that I'm struggling with, not to make this video any longer than it already is just like YouTube in general, It's like I have this creative artistic side that I want to feed. I need to feed, but I also have this unfortunate need to feed the algorithm in order for new people to see my videos and to come in here and watch them. And I can't thank you enough. If you are a subscriber, or if you're just someone who's not a subscriber and you just come here and watch every so often, I can't thank you enough, because somehow for the most part, I've managed to keep my core group of people that I've been, gathering up over the past couple months. But now that I've noticed that now that I'm kind of like editing more videos, I'm trying to get more creative, that things are really starting to slow down. So, I know I spoke recently about how I want to tailor this more to my mom's dementia, and I still do want to do that, but I've been kind of dragging my feet on that, I guess. I don't know. But I need to start thinking about at least putting out a video or two a week that's just meant to try and capture a new audience. And then at the same time, do my normal videos that hopefully everybody enjoys with the music and all of that, and then that can be more just detailing my daily life that I normally do. So I've come up with like a half dozen ideas, and this one is kind of the first one. Not really. Because I didn't actually finish the stained glass that I'm working on. So maybe I will, when I make my video eventually about the stained glass, either tomorrow, Monday, whenever, I'm going to like make the intro just kind of tailored to like I'm talking to a new person that's never been here before, and then I'll go into just being my normal chatty self and telling you about my day or whatever. And I'm hoping I can figure out a way to put a song in, because I'm kind of itching to do that too. I don't know. I've just been so discombobulated with YouTube the last 2 days. It's like I keep waffling back and forth. Do I want to make something that's more, focused and gets a new audience first, or should I make something that's more my normal, usual chatty video? Do I feel like filming a bunch of little things and making a montage? And the montage thing, as much as I would like to, I just didn't have the oomph to go around and take like 100 bazillion little clips of things and edit them all together. But so, I don't know what ultimately my channel is going to end up being. I think my initial thoughts of it being just a discombobulated mess that's what it's gonna be. And hopefully there will always be that one small, that core group of people that'll just put up with whatever hell I put them through in terms of my kooky ideas that I come up with for videos, especially when they're going to be more tailored toward strangers, essentially. So, I mean, I know I say I want to monetize this channel, and I do want to make money, but it's like my urge to be creative here outweighs my urge to make money here. And maybe that's a bad thing, but I still think I can take advantage of this place and make money, like, you know, with the stained glass. Like, eventually I can put the link to my eBay store in my description and talk about it every so often, and what other, you know, other ideas I have. But I really don't want to put all my eggs into the YouTube basket, because I don't have the drive it takes to be a YouTube person. I have the drive it takes to be a creative make a journal. That's what I, you know, so, but I still should, like you know, I know I'm reiterating, but I do want to put a video out maybe once or twice a week that's experimental, to try and draw in, you know, a handful of new people every so often. Because at the very least, I want to get over that 1,000 threshold. Because one last thing, and I know if you're still here, you're going to be a person who'd be there anyway. I have my live videos that I've been wanting to do for, you know, the more enthusiastic subscribers of mine. And I tried doing one recently, and it wouldn't let me. And a couple days ago, I checked it again, and it says it'll let me now, but until I get 1,000 subscribers, I can only have 25 attendees in the live chat. And it just doesn't sit right with me, because I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I feel like there'd be more than 25 people that would want to come. I think there'd be probably somewhere between 30 and 50, maybe, if I had to throw a number out there. But I don't want to screw those people over, the ones that got there, you know, a millisecond too late. So I'm going to wait until I can actually do it. So, and I mean, I'm at 800. Last I checked was like 811. My subscribers they're kind of going up and down between like 808 and 811 for like a week now. It's up and down. So it's definitely plateauing right now. So, but that's less than 200 to get to 1,000. So maybe I'll get lucky and I'll put a video out there that resonates with some people and I can get over the hump. But like I said, I'm really struggling with myself in terms of how I want to do that. So just expect a lot of videos about this where I'm lamenting about it. But I think that's it for now. I've got my little pieces all cut out, all ready for me. Oh, don't lose them. And then I got to get in the house. I'm going to start some dinner. Oh, I almost did lose the tail already. I'm making some loaf of bread and then some cheesy cauliflower soup, which I will talk really slow right now, so then I can put like a little B-roll over it. And then this morning I made waffles for the first time in a long time. And for my mom, I put some peanut butter and honey on hers. I don't often give her sugar, so I hope that was a nice little treat for her, because waffles I have not made since before she lived with us. It used to be kind of like a weekend treat that I'd make for me and Will, but I stopped making it because I didn't want to give her sugar. But hopefully a little drizzle of honey is not too bad. It's just, I mean, I'm not so worried about the calories or anything like that with sugar. It's just whenever she eats sugar, she just she gets like 10 times worse. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that with dementia and sugar, like that correlation, but she definitely has it. So I keep her away from it as much as I can, or else she'll be loopy the rest of the day. So maybe even more than a day, just from eating a ho-ho or something. So, all right, I'm stopping now. I'm going to hope that I can make my next video a little more artsy, because I'm feeling it. Cross my fingers. Maybe some birds tomorrow. Along with some freaking stained glass, right? Bye.